Good afternoon, everybody. Here we are, Tuesday. It's the 20th of August. And we're ready for another tile. Now, being that we didn't do one on Friday, I thought we'd do a double one today. And this one, you could actually sort of separate it. So you get two separate tiles. Or you could keep them together and create just the one. But on the back, look, I've actually put the numbers 468 and 469 on there. And what have I done to start with? I've used two different tiles. Look, I've used them at the white pack. So two sort of variables. And I quite like that. And then I've completely covered it with ink. I've gone really heavy. But then I've used loads of water on it. And I've thrown a bit of salt on. And just left it. No fancy salt. Just normal table salt. There we go. But I've used a mixture, look, of, here we go, those two. And I've also used a bit of that one as well. Mixed them all together. And you can see I've got this little bit of an unusual inking type thing. Do have my white pen with me. As you can see, I've got my regular black pen, pencil, Tortillon, and everything else that goes with it. So, goodness me, all that stuff. If we're ready, I mean, having said that, you could just have one tile. You don't have to ink it at all. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Okay? So, I'm going to start with pencil because, you know, I want a few little bits of construction line first. Okay, ready. I'm going to turn it around because this eventually, let's have a look. I don't know. No, I'm going to do it this way. Or do I want to? It doesn't really matter, does it? I'm going to go this way. Okay, so I'm going to start here. And I want to put myself a bit of a curl in. You see, so I'm going a bit longer. If you're working on just one tile, you're going to do it smaller. But I thought we'd go with two. So maybe if I put the sort of bubble in here first, that might give me a little bit of a guide. All right, there it is. And then from there, look, I can come around and up. You see, taking it gently, no rush, and in there. And if I want to, look, I can come back in, look, and I can make little changes. So it's not that it's all set in stone, we're just working in pencil. So then if I go back around that shape, see, look, I'm coming a bit wider, back around it. Let's give myself a little bit, see, working too. So rather than do the whole thing, I've looked at the sort of the gap there. And then if I put a few of those in, it's almost like joining the dots, isn't it? You see? And then this one, it's going to come in a little bit thinner. And then I'm going to get thicker there, like that. Okay? So that gives me that bit there. I'm going to do a thin one here. See, now I'm getting the hang of this. I know what I'm doing. Okay, and that one's going to go. Is it going to go all the way around? No, I'm just going to sort of, feels like it needs to stop there. So I'm going to kind of stop it there. Okay, so coming in with pen then. And let's just work this out. Just give me 1 second. Oh, that was okay. We've got printers and everything going next door. So as soon as something doesn't sound like it's running, I was like, what? Okay, there we go. Put my bubble in. He shut the door on me now. He's like, no, get on with what you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to draw this in with pen. You see, I can make amendments. I can move it round. I can draw a section of it as I'm going. Working along. You see? No big deal. So I know it's a large curve, but that's absolutely fine. We've got this. You see? Little bits. And now here, look, I can go for it. Comfortable with that. All right? All the way along. So, same here, look. Following it along. As long as, you know, my hand's comfortable. And I'm not trying to strain it or draw something in an odd direction. I can draw that in. And I've got a thin one here. Now, if you wanted to, you could do this whole thing in pencil and then come back and do it in pen after. But you've got options, haven't you? You can do that way if you want to. Or you can go straight in with pen. There you are. You see? So I've got a bit of a swirl going on. So inside this bubble here, I'm going to put myself a little border. So I'm going to follow it round like so. And then I'm going to go top and bottom. I'm going to put a line here and here, so I've got like 6 sections. See, let's just have a look at that, like that. And then if I put little dots on the end, like that. Okay, it looks like it's attached in there. Okay, so we've got that one done, we've got that. So what I'm going to do with this line here is, doesn't matter where we start, I'm going to put some lines in it. See, like this. Keeping them quite close, and then I'm going to work my way along. Just turning it as I go. Now they've completely shut the doors on me. And in there. You see, as I turn it, my hand's not really moving. So that's changing the angle of what I'm drawing to sort of work alongside. But that's okay, it's just a few lines. It's no big deal. And if you didn't want to do lines, you could just colour this, or you could add some bubbles in. So many things. You see? Not too worried if they're not the same distance apart either. You know, just take the time to try and make sure that your lines are joined top and bottom to that space. That's it. Almost. There we go. Almost there. All right. So we've got a nice long sort of curly shape going on. So let's do another one. Being that I've got sort of space here, I'm going to do this bit first and then I'll worry about the tail. So I'm going to put myself another bubble in. Let's have a look. I'm going to come in, I don't know, about here. It doesn't matter if it's a different size to the last one. That's absolutely fine. I'll follow it round. It's not a bad shape. See if I can do one going around it as well. There you go. You see, just take the time. No big deal, no rush. There we are. And then again, I'm going to put those 6 little lines in. You could do 8 if you want. And put little dots on the end like that. Okay, that gives me my starting point. And then I'm going to come around this way. So if that's not comfortable for you, you can turn it round, look. And I could do that. See? And if I follow that through, it's going to sort of come out here. See? So that looks like it's going underneath now, all the way up there. So I'm going to do another one. This time it's going to go around this shape. Now again, remember, we did the first one with pencil. So if you're comfortable with that, do it with pencil first, it's fine. Okay, around we go. Keep it going. All right, and then here, see, this one's going to come up here. See, follow it through. And then it's sort of coming out there. And I'm going to come up and out and along there. Okay, so far so good. So similar kind of thing. I'm going to do a thinner one, but still following that shape round, look, like this. Still coming round. Okay, so it's got a little bit wider there, that's okay. I can change the width. Looks like it's part of the design. See how I'm turning it as I go. And then up and along this one here. And I'm going to keep it kind of similar there. All right, so we've got that. So I'm going to just bring another one of those in. I'm going to come in, sort of just starting there. And again, look, if I put little marks so I know where I'm going, and I can aim for them, see? Again, if you want to do those in pencil. And work my way around. I'm not going to go too wide with this one, but just changing a little bit as it works its way around there. And then here, look, I'm going to come back through. I'm just going to sort of go under there. Okay, so see this thin line? Again, I'm going to put those little lines in. Now you'll notice this time, look, I'm not following the tile around. I'm quite happy to put them in as I go. But you've got different ways you can do that now, so whatever's comfortable for you. You see? And then coming round here. You see, when I get sort of these tight curves, I am going to move it. Just makes life easier. Work my way round. Along. See? Switching directions as well. Along we go. It's amazing, isn't it, how a few lines can make a difference to something you're drawing. You know, it can make it look more shadowed. Okay, like that. So let's have a look. So I've got this one going on. I think I'm going to put another line here. Just kind of thin. You see, sort of starting it off and then pulling it out. Working my way up bank. So sometimes, because the lines are quite sort of long, you can't always get in there and you can't sort of draw it in one line. See, like this, that's fine. But sometimes it's a little bit awkward, you know, so do it in little bits, it's fine. Okay, let's do another one here. I'm going to put my bubble in, just as before. And then I'm going to come round. And again, sort of sketch round that line, and I'm going to put 6 little lines in, just as I did before. See, like that. And then this time I'm going to come round this way. So let's start it off here. And let's take it down. And into there. See how that one's just worked? And then back around. Along. See, just doing it in like bits. And then down here. So I'm getting the most important bit, which is this first. The tails can sort of find their own way as we go. So let's do another one. Again, like, turn it round if you need to. As you're going. That will look like it's sort of going off. Doesn't matter. Can bring it back in, look. Then it's going to go underneath there. And then I'm going to bring it down here. Instead of following that line, I'm going to start it there, but I'm going to bring it out here into that space there. And then I'm going to do a thinner one next to it. Like that. See? So then I've got to come round here and follow that line through, just as before. And around there. See? So again, look, I can come in and I can put in those lines, working my way around. You see, sort of imagining it's going off the page, then it's coming back round and along as we go to these bits, following it on. Okay, and sort of, you know, continuing that shape. So we've not done anything crazy yet. If we can draw curves, we can draw a wobbly or straight line. We've got this all the way down. Okay, look at that. So far, so good. So we've got a little bit of space here because I've got a cup of tea in my hand. John's made me. Don't want that to go to waste. And let's have a look. I think I'm going to do another row around this. Now, you look at your tile, and if you think it can take one, do it. If not, leave it as is. It depends on what size it is that you've drawn. See, so that's going to come sort of out here, and I'm going to go round and up there. And then this one I'm going to bring in like so. Oh, like that. I think it could have done with some, you know, a little bit more there, so I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to bring one in here. Again, start with that bubble shape. Round we go. you can imagine this, I suppose, with different shapes. If I just had that one, look, we'd just have that. And if I just had that one. So you can sort of, you know, just do a separate or mix them together. So I'm going to go round this way, all right? So starting sort of kind of here, and let's go, let's have a look. Around, follow that through. Oh, it's gone a bit wobbly, that's okay. That's going to go up and out there. Let's put those lines on. Just like I've done with the others. Little dots in. And then again, round we go. I'm going to follow that shape. It is what it is. On along. And this time it's going to sort of come a bit wider up here. You see? And then I'm going to bring one out from here. And it's going to go underneath. And that one's going to kind of go up there. So, you know, yours is going to change. It's going to be different depending on what you've done, where you've gone with things. And don't sort of try and replicate mine exactly. You've got to do little bits work for you. So this one, look, thinner one. Well, I'm just going to take it up there a little bit. Stop it there. And then these lines, I can bring them in. Joining them up. Along there and into those little shapes, putting those line designs in. Here we are, sort of almost at the stop. Okay, so we've got that kind of thing going. So what I'm going to do, whilst I've got my pen in hand, I'm going to have a couple of bubbles kind of around the outside area. See, just the odd one. Don't have to get carried away with it. Just keep them different sizes as well, you know. One in there. All right. Okay, so let's have a look at this first one we did. We've got quite a sort of shape going on here. This is the one that's the most prominent, kind of in front. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to start where I've got a larger sort of space here, because what I want to do is put another one of those bubbles in, like that. Okay. And then I can go outside or inside, doesn't matter. That one, oh, I haven't put my little dots on that, look. I'm going to do a few of those, so let's do a bigger one. And round we go inside that one. Let's do, see, they're going to be different sizes. If you wonder why my pen's resisting a little bit, there's a lot of salt I put on this. So, you know, if you're going to do this, make sure you've rubbed all the salt off before you come in with your pen. And you just want to make sure then you've got a nice surface you're working to. So for the most part, I've sorted that. Okay, see how they're sort of all slightly different sizes? Yeah. Let's put one sort of wandering off up there. And these are sort of getting smaller. And I'm going to do a few smaller but without the double ring, if that makes sense. No border in it. You see? Okay. So to keep it in with, I'm going to put those little lines in. And put my little dots, but turn it round as I'm going, so they're not all kind of in the same direction. Looks like they're moving about a bit. And here, you know, still going to do it, but maybe not every one, because they're getting smaller. Just gives it a little bit of a gesture there, doesn't it? So I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do it sort of on this one here as well, but let's have a look. Let's see, that one looks like it's going under there. And let's put one in on there. I'm not going to do as many, I don't think. Like so. So they just sort of work their way around. another one there. See, just little lines if you can get them in. Sort of in different directions. Oh, there we go. So into this one. See how that kind of just sort of works in there. We're getting one in there. Okay. So I'm going to choose one of these. I'm going to put, actually, shall I do that one? Maybe, yeah, I'm going to do just a few in this outer one here. So there's no real sort of defined pattern in a sense. I'm just sort of picking a space and putting some in. This time though, I'm not going to do the sort of double rings. I'm going to just add bubbles in, you see? Because it's a smaller area. So that's that one. So let's have a look now. Let's have a look at this space here. Just going to zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to start sort of on one of the areas where it's a little bit straighter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line that's going sort of just over halfway. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. And then this side and this one. You see how that kind of works? One side and then the other. Now this is going to sort of peter off because it's going off there. But here I can bring it in and out. Here you are. And then of course as it comes back, it's going to do a similar thing. And then I'm going to see how I'm moving it as I'm going, because it's got to sort of go around that curve. So rather than you moving your hand around trying to twist, you see I'm coming in and moving the paper like that. Okay, you can go as close or as far away as you want to, but you've got a nice little pattern going on there, which looks all right. Okay, so find another one for that one. I think I'm going to come over here, or I could do one here. I'm going to come over this one here and see, starting on sort of on a flat bit again, so I can kind of get to grips with what I'm doing. And then that's going to sort of disappear off there. And then here, it's going to come in and it's going to work that way as I work my way around. Okay, now here it's really small, so they're almost going to be little dots. Well, that's okay. If you can do it, try and keep that little pattern going as you go round. All right. So far, so good. All right. Okay. So let's have another look. Maybe this one here. Now, I know some of you out there right-handed, you might want to sort of do this. I'm going to sort of go from, let's have a look, left to right. You might want to go right to left, whatever's comfortable. So let's start it here, look. So I'm going to do a bit of a curve like that. Yeah. And then another one. You see how it just curves at the top a little bit? Curves at the top. So at the bottom there, let's go in a little bit more. You see now, as that's starting to curve as well, we're starting to get like a little pattern going. See, curve, goes slightly in there, coming out. You can just go back and join the dots after, or join the lines afterwards. Get into the flow of that shape first. See, like that. And then go back and fill in any gaps you need to. See this? I'm going to sort of, it's going to wander off. And there where I've got any little gaps. So coming up to the top now, I'm going to go that way. Like that. So creating this little pattern going on. Like so. Getting smaller as I work my way along. Still sort of trying to maintain that little shape if I can. There you go. Let's have a little look at that. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Let's have a look. I've got this one going on here. I'm not going to do all of them, but it's nice to have a couple of patterns going on in places. So let's see, doing it that way this time. You find you get quicker at it It's one of those that sort of slides off the pen. You just got to make sure you're going around in a curve if it is. And let's put that one back in. If they're slightly different sizes, doesn't matter. You see, it just sort of kind of fits round like that. All right. Okay. Into this one. Sort of, let's say, rolls off the pen after you've done it for a little bit. Now you've got to work out where's it going. Okay, so you see it's on the right hand side of that sort of line with the lines. This is why we did those. I think then it's easier for you to find your way back again. So it's in that one there. Like that. Okay. So we're going to follow that down into those little spaces. Okay. So let's just go in and have a little look at that for a minute. You see we've got these little gaps going on around here. Just going to come in, I'm going to fill those in. A little bit of ink. Just going to add a little bit of depth to it. See, like that. Sort of working my way up each side. It's not going to take you long to do, and it's not going to sort of take too much ink to do that. You know, if you feel that you haven't got any gaps, you can make some. You can add a little bit more of a curve on the edge there. See, it just makes it look a little bit different. Let's have a little look at that. You see? So bits there, and again, it just makes it a little bit neater. Just tidies those edges up a little bit, where you can come in and add a little bit to it. Okay. And of course, if you haven't sort of joined all your lines, this is going to help you do that. This is going to make sure they're all filled in. Okay. So same on this side. See, even though I've got some dark ink in the background there, because it's been watered down and some of that salts took the colour away, you've still seen that black pen. But you could just have easily have done all this in white. All right. So next little bit, just finish these off. Okay. See, you thought you got away with it. You thought you got a bit of a break when I didn't do one on Friday. And now you're paying for it. You've had your break. Now you've got two to do. But that's okay. I'll say you don't have to. We haven't done a double tile in ages, actually. I thought it's nice to do one. You know, get some of those curves going. All right, let's have a little look at that. See, so it depends which way you want it to be, really, I suppose, doesn't it? You know, want it that way? Do you want it that way? All right, okay, I'm going to bring my white pen in now. Oh, let's just neaten that bit. Miss that bit there, look. There you go. And, okay, gel pen. Just checking it's going to work. It's always worth trying. And you see where we've got these sort of little bubbles, these little sort of like little gems. What I'm going to do is I'm coming in on the end and I'm going to put a swirl in. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so you can see that bit better. You see? I'm going to put a few of those in. Now I'm not going to sort of do hundreds of them. I want them to sort of move on a bit. So we're going to get a bit smaller, look. Work their way around. Again, you know, you can use any kind of pen. Sometimes the gel pens, they take a little bit of cajoling, don't they? And then put some little dots in. I might have to come back and redo these once we do the shading. Because we might want to keep them white. You see here where that's gone over? I'm going to come back in, look, and put my black line in. Yeah, just went over there a little bit. So let's have a look at where else we can do those kind of swirls. So it's just a few on this edge. Again, just sort of keeps the design similar in areas, but they're not so joined together. We can take them into dots. And okay, we've got some here, so let's put a few in and around these bits too. Now I know it's a little bit lighter there in terms of the actual inking, but like you can still see it, look. And sometimes you don't want it all completely black, you want to have a little bit of something in the background. See, they're nice and light, but they're still there, see? And then of course we've got some bubbles going on here, so let's bring a few in here as well. Okay, again, kind of light here, so yeah, pen's still working. Just gonna get a few in. And there you are, look. Just gives it a little bit of a different feel, doesn't it? There you go. Okay, so let's bring a bit of colour in, I think, being that I've got these sort of shiny stones. So this is kind of red, so I'm going to bring in, of course, my light red, my Sanntangle red, a bit of clementine, and a bit of white. Okay, or shall I use clementine? No, I'll use light rose. Oh, decisions. So I've got light red, Sanntangle red, light rose and white. So let's put my highlight in first. Let's go up a bit. There's so many different ways of actually adding colour. Let's make sure that's clean. You know, everybody's each to their own. You can do whatever you want to do. So if I bring that light red in, okay. Now again, this is not going to be completely smooth because you can see that you've got little bits of salt lying around. And then I'm going to use my light rose. Mix that in. See, not all the way over the white. A little bit of that Sanntangle red. It's darkening up that edge. And then let's bring that white back in. So you just lightly burnish around it. Okay. You can do that. I'm going to come back and do this with all of them. Bit of white gel pen. Add yourself a little bit of white on the opposite end as well. Okay. Let's have a little look at that. Actually, what I kind of want to do that. Bring in a bit of purple gem. Just add a touch of it around that back edge. Just to give that a little bit more depth, see? Okay. A bit of light red around there. So, I wouldn't do one at a time. I would sort of batch produce. So, on these ones here, look, a little bit of a highlight. Same with those. Okay, now see up here it's getting slightly more purpley and here slightly more pinky. So I'm going to do the reds sort of in this middle area where it's mostly red ink at the back there. See, that's a bit of a red one too. And then the others I'm going to bring a bit more of that colour in to match. So, see, these bubbles, I'm not going to put too much in, I'll do a couple. See, same here, look, I can bring a bit of red, but then it's going more pink. And see there a little bit. So, a bit of the light rose. I'm going to get much in. Kind of small. You see, it doesn't take much, does it? Not on these. I'll see there. I'm going to use just a bit of light rose there. I'm going to bring some more pink in a minute. Let's finish these off first. And let's bring my Sanntangle red in. And then I'll sort of add some white over the top. You see, just sort of adding it at that bottom edge. Just darkening it up a little bit. Bit of white in, just lightly burnish it. Okay. See, colouring's just, yeah, everybody's got their own version, haven't they? Everybody's got their own way of doing it. So, you know, don't think you've got to do it the same way as me. I'm bringing a bit of that, look, that purple gem in now. Of course, because it's darker, you could always use the black edition pencils as well. That'll give you a little bit of colour in there. going to bring a bit more light red in. So always build it up in layers. Even if you don't use the same colours, go for layers, and you find that you're going to get a far better sort of finished piece than if you hadn't done that. See? Okay, so in this one now, instead of using the light red, I'm going to bring the mid rose in. I would if it was sharp. I got another one. Yeah, there we go. Spare set. There you are. See, so you get a slightly different feel from it. So a little bit of the light rose, a bit of the white, and it's still going to keep with that purpley colour there. So, okay, let's just finish those off. I didn't do those. So here's my, see my mid rose coming in now. So I'm using that more where I've got the pinky colours. If they're big enough, you know, don't sort of do it if not. Bit of light rose in those areas. And a little bit of white. Okay. All right, let's have a little look at this. So you see, so you've got that red in there, then you've got this sort of pinkier colour. So at the top here, we're going to sort of switch out and we're going to go in with purples. But I'm going to keep with the pinky colour. So here we go. Look, I've got light and mid pink purple. I'm going to keep with the purple gem and the white. So let's start with our lighties, which is to be light pink purple. Let's put a bit of that in. See, I've not put any white in yet, but again, it doesn't matter which way you do it. It's whatever works for you. Let's put a bit of white in. Just giving it a little bit of a highlight there. Then taking the mid pink purple, bit of that in. There we go. A little bit in there. And then let's bring in the purple gem on that edge. Again, I'm left-handed, so my shade tends to be on the right, but you can put it where you want. Let's bring some more of that white in, just to help burnish it in a little bit. Okay, let's go in a little bit. You see, so we've got slightly more purple as we go up there. So, okay, bringing in then a regular pencil. I think that's our next sort of port of call. And let's have a look at this sort of shape here. So I'm going to add some pencil down either side like that. Okay, so if I find the rest of my sort of shapes that look similar, I'm going to do the same thing, look, along there into that one. And same with this one, around there. So keep it sort of, if you've not got much space, keep your pencil light. And don't put too much in because it's got to go somewhere. All right, round we go. I am going to come back to the highlights, by the way, with the pen. I'm going to do that at the end. I'm going to worry about that now. Okay, so I'm going to very gently sort of move the two, see? But I don't want them to touch, if possible. I want you to try and leave a gap in the middle. That's hopefully the idea. Okay, you see I've got that little gap or that little highlight in the middle. So let's find the others. This one's a little bit easier, let's see, back and forth. I can be a little bit freer there because I've got more space. Like so. Same along here. Back and forth, sort of working my way around. Where the tile's darker, see, you can be a bit more forgiving, can't you? You don't have to sort of be as precise. But up in this area, you've got to look after it. You see? All right, back to pencil. And we've got these ones where we put these lines in. So I'm going to come in here and start on both sides like that. But you see how this gets really thin? I'm just going to choose one side and stick with it. The same with these where we did the lines, just do one side. Okay, so I'm going to sort of find all of those out and put those in. Okay. And same with this one, look, just choose one side and go with it for those because they're really fine. Same along this one. And on this one I can go both sides. Alright, it's sort of kind of big enough. See, that one's not got any shading. I'll add a bit of pencil in so it doesn't feel left out. And along we go. And into that one. Okay, let's have a little look at that. So again, always miss a bit, look. And miss 2 bits. Bit down there. So work it round. With these little bits, there's not much you can do. It's a case of trying to leave a little bit on the edge if you can. Like so. And then these ones again, back and forth, softening it out and leaving a bit in the middle. Like so. Okay. There you are. So let's look at the next. I've got this line to do as well. I'll come back and do that in a minute. I miss that because it's a bit wider than all the others, see. Okay, round we go. On that one. Try to leave that gap if you can. If not, you could always come back in with the edge of a rubber and you could go along. It doesn't look as natural, but at least you've got your highlight there. Okay. There we go. And we go into those bits. Okay. So this sort of leaves us with these sort of areas now, these little gaps. So for that, I want to bring in, I've got a chalk pencil. Now, you can use a white for this. But what you've got to remember, the difference between the white pencil, which is this one, and the chalk pencil is the white one, you can't blend it with a Tortillon. Whereas the chalk pencil, you can. Okay? So looking at this where I've got this dark area, let's come in a little bit. You see, if I add some of that chalk on there, just like I would with the pencil, regular pencil. And I'm going to bring a torch in. See, this is a little bit graphite-y, so I'm going to... You can use a nail file, and I've got one handy somewhere, but it's never sort of to hand when you want it. But then if I come in, look, and I can soften that off. See where I couldn't do that with a regular pencil? We can listen gently. Now it's a little tingy grey because I've obviously got graphite on my Tortillon. See, if I just move out a bit, you see that's giving it a little bit more of a highlight on the top there. So if I do similar here, look, add a bit there. And I'm going to add a little bit on that side. See, just in sort of sections. Maybe a bit down there. And then back in, look. Soften it off. Okay. Take your time with it. Remember, it's chalk, so it is going to move. Okay. A bits in there. And little bits there. So don't press too hard. Just let it do its thing. You see, you can always come back in and add some more over the top. Okay, see? And into there. All right, so let's have a look at that. So we've got quite a nice light area here, I think, because this is sort of the background. I want to make a differential from that. So I'm going to bring this in to sort of give that a bit of shading there. You see? And again, let's bring my Tortillon in. Round we go. Okay. So then here too, this is the background. So again, I'm going to come in, I'm going to go all the way over there. And this goes over everything, so I'm going to sort of go all the way up there. I've not been shy, look, with the amount of graphite. as well. And again, soften that off. Because it's kind of dark there, I can really get away with putting plenty on. So there's my sort of shadow there. You see, notice as well that I sort of stopped here and then I put some more in here, so I've not gone all the way around. I'll see in bits. Okay, so you see that one's really sort of standing out now in front of everything else. So this one's in front of this one. So let's bring a bit of pencil in there as well. Soften, see, ease off as you get round here. With this bit you can go for it a bit there. Like so. A little bit of shadow there. Okay. So just to sort of enhance those bits, I'm going to bring a black pencil in. Okay. And just where I've got this little bit here, I'm going to bring my black pen. I'm not going to try and blend it in. I just want to go around the edge. You can do that with a black pen as well. It's just being that we've got pencil there, it's a little bit softer. You see here, needs a little bit of shade. And then I can bring my black pencil in like right on the edge and just give it a little bit more depth. And then let's have a look at this one here, you know where it goes over there. Not going to worry about that, it's all in the background. And then a little bit here. Okay, so I said about white pen. I'm going to bring that in, and wherever I've got my light highlight, I'm going to bring a little bit of white pen on the opposite side of it. Like that, see? Same with all of these, you know, just need a little dot. Let's go in a bit so you can see that, see? Little dots. Okay. All right, same with the other colours. Let's have a little look. A little bit on these dots as well. Like so. And I just want to have a look at these highlights. You know where we left these bits? So if I come on in to the middle there, I'm just sort of going to bring a white line through. Doesn't have to be a complete line, see? It can be a bit broken, but don't get tempted to go back and draw it again. You see? Like so. So let's find others. See that one? You can do a similar thing, look. So it just breaks up that little bit there. Round we go. And then of course, there's my rope. See, so you can break it up a little bit. Same with this one. And a little bit on this one. Let's have a look at that, see where we're at with it. Okay. See, so it's giving it that little hint that there's a little bit of light touching over the top of it. So where we've got these little bits, you know where we've got the lines and we've just done one side, it's where it's overlapping here. I'm going to add a little bit on the edge there. Again, it doesn't have to be a complete line, it's sort of a little bit broken. Let's have a look at that, see? Maybe a little bit in there. And if you haven't got a white pen, you could always do this with your white pencil. Not your chalk one, it'd have to be your white pencil. See, a little bit under there. I'm not going into the shadow though. Just picking a few bits out. See, I'm not going to go in there because it's in shadow. But maybe a little bit down here. Brings that into play. Okay. A little bit of a highlight there. And then I think just to finish, you know where we've got some little dots and things. You can add some. Now if you've sort of shadowed over some of your white dots as well, you know where we've done shading, you can bring out those little dots again. There's some down here. Don't overdo this. I know it's tempting because it's nice to use that white pen. But just a few in places. will do you fine. Okay. So maybe put down there. Some a little bit bigger than others. There we go. So, depends on which way you want it, whether you want it this way or whether you want it this way. Yeah, if we turn it on its side, we've just got this one, or you've just got this one. Choice is entirely yours. And I think I'm going to go this way. So it just needs a signature. Here we go. Just find my pen. And I'm going to put it sort of down here onto this bit. So there we go. 2 tiles in one. All done and sorted. I hope you've enjoyed that one. I've enjoyed doing that. It's nice actually to really go to town with a darker background, darker ink, and mix the black and the white pen. So entirely up to you whether you want to do it purely black and white, whether you want to do just a single one. But have a play with it, see what you can come up with. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that, and I hope you will too. So, okay. Other than that, all done, all sorted, and I will see you back here on Friday at 2 o'clock for our next tile. So have fun with this, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.